Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Spiral Abyss video where today we'll be using Ayato alongside Furina, Yelan, and Jean to make sort of like a mono hydro Ayato team with Furina, and then on the first half we will be using a Neuvillette Hyperbloom team. So I mean, you could say that we are using two hot hydro men, and don't talk to me about the paradox that is hydro and hot. Anyway, like I said, first half we will be doing a Neuvillette Hyperbloom team with Nahida, Kuki, and Zhongli. And then on the second half we will be doing our little Ayato team with Ayato, Furina, Yelan, and Jean as you saw earlier. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so here we are starting off with an elemental skill buff. Now if I'm being honest, I don't even know if this helps out our Ayato. I think his damage mostly counts as normal attacks other than like the initial press of the skill and the little explosion the bubble does. And all it helps with on Neuvillette is also just his initial scale hit, but, who really cares? My prediction is we're going to be able to clear the first half incredibly easy, like between 30 seconds and a minute. But then this entire Abyss run will come down to how good the Ayato team is against all the bosses in that chamber. Now, if I'm being honest, we haven't had the greatest start to this chamber with Neuvillette, but, I mean, we're going fast anyway, who cares? We're going to clear it real quick. I mean, here, these guys, to be fair, part of the reason why Neuvillette is so good is just because he's, I think, a seer and the enemies are Numa, or actually no, I think Neuvillette's Numa and the enemies are a seer. So he can disable them really easily, which is why you really, like, if you have Neuvillette, you really want to put him on this half, unless your other characters struggle on the other half. But yeah, we finished this within a minute, we have all our bursts up, which means that we are ready to try take on the Ruined Serpent with our Ayato. I did completely forget the name of the boss there. That's my bad. Now, when it comes to what we're going to do, I think we're just going to do a regular rotation of Furina, Yelan, and Jean. Just, drain a bit more HP before we get onto our Ayato. It's been a while since I played this team, so I kind of forgot when I should ult on Ayato, but, it is what it is. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't have 100% uptime on his skill. I think Ayato would be a bit of a better character if he just had less uptime on the skill, or like, at least longer duration on the skill, because it's a bit of a shame how quickly it finishes, but, what can you do? We missed a few skill hits there, but it's fine if I'm being honest. Yeah, I mean, we're doing pretty decent damage. We've hit him half health. We've used about 45 seconds, so we will be able to clear this prior to the time needed, luckily. Now, if I'm being honest, I just love how many hydro particles this team gets. Ooh, okay, now this is an interesting part. I don't know if we're going to be able to disable this guy. Like, we will be able to do so much more damage if we are able to, but I don't know if the Ayato's birthday will help us to or not. Oh, and it does. Okay, we disable him. Now, unfortunately, we don't have long left in our rotation, but, we're doing big damage here. Gonna try to, just as much as we can. Now, we are slightly short on energy now on our Furina. I feel like maybe I shouldn't have bursted that. Okay, no mind, it's fine. Okay. We're basically going to have our Furina burst up, and we've basically cleared this Abyss with 30 seconds left. So, yeah, we've done a pretty good job there, I think, if you ask me. Team's going well. This seems just really comfortable to play, but I'll talk more about that in the next chamber, because we are nearly done here, although I've said that a bit, and this is dragging on. Okay, there we go, finally. Now, on to the second chamber. Okay, and on to the second half, where we get lucky with... we get unlucky with another elemental skill buff, but like I said, it shouldn't impact us too much. It's always nice to get useful Abyss blessings, but, can't rely on them too much. Now, these summons can be a little bit annoying if, they, like, go far apart, because, I mean, this one time I had this alligator just completely run, like, halfway across the map, which was a bit interesting, but it's fine. They're fairly grouped up here, so we were able to clear them all in one go. Now, we do have a small DPS window here. We can make sure our zhongli's shield hits everyone so that we get full stacks on our Neuvillette, because that's the main thing about this Hyperbloom team. Obviously, Neuvillette gets full stacks, and you are allowed to just play Hyperbloom as well, which has its own nice damage. Now, we once again clear this this chamber in 50 seconds, under even 48. And once again, we have all our bursts, which is the big part. Now, here's the thing. We gotta fight the Weenot. Now, I hate fighting the Weenot because I think its DPS windows are stupid. I think this is one of the most stupid bosses in the entire game, and it really annoys me. But we should be good here just because, I mean, our team's pretty decent. I did forget to ult on my Jean, although, hey, who knows if I would have had time. this is actually the one fun thing about using Yelan here. Not only can you make sure that she hits Renat's like little orb things to knock him down, it's also you can just run to him when he runs really far away. Now I think he should spawn around here. Okay, yeah. See, when you fight this thing like a few times, you do tend to learn its attack patterns. If I'm being honest, I kind of honestly even remember them from like the first time I had to fight this thing in Abyss. It's the reason why I got, like, I didn't face 6 stars for like months afterwards. Just because it was so difficult, like after the win of Abyss, I got 35 stars and then I just stopped being bothered with Abyss because I just couldn't face 6 star. I was just getting really unlucky with the chambers for my account, but hey, look at us now doing entire videos of 36 starring Abyss with different characters, so look how far we've come. Now we managed to get a decent DPS window there. He is nearly dead with a bit of time left to spare, so I actually think we're doing quite well for ourselves here. So hey, if you want a team to beat the Weena, then I would definitely recommend this Ayato team. Now I know another variation you could do is you could do like Ayato, Xingqiu, Yelan, and Kaza for like another form of Mono Hydra, but I just like the Furina variant because I like her damage and I like the damage boost she gives to our Ayato. Also, I don't have a Kaza on this account. That's another problem which I sometimes face, and yeah, I lost my 50-50 today, which is ever so slightly unfortunate if I say so myself. But we cleared this chamber, and that means we are now on to chamber 3. Okay, now here we are on chamber 3, and finally we get ourselves a useful buff. We get ourselves a normal attack and charge attack buff, which is obviously useful for both our Neuvillette and for our Ayato, finally. I just wish we got 2 normal attack buffs instead of 2 skill buffs and then a normal attack, but you know, can't be too picky. Now, when it comes to this chamber, this, like, Electro one is kind of crazy. He just kind of, you know, whacks us from far away. But, you know, we take the first wave out in 30 seconds, and I would expect something similar from the second chamber. Now, my little clue here is go to the other one rather than the Electro one, which I didn't do in that last clip. But if you do it here, they're just going to group up because this one's kind of lazy, whereas the Electro one moves around way too much. So there you go, we've cleared this one in 40 seconds again. Like I said, the first half to this Abyss is incredibly easy. And now we are finally onto the Eon Blight Drake. And this time we have a bow character, unlike my first Abyss in, rather like my first try in this Abyss. Now, okay, we completely miss our arrow. That is embarrassing. But as you can see, Furina's summons here can actually also knock out the sky, which is fun as well. But yeah, that's just a little quirky thing we got going on there. And we can go back to our DPS now. Luckily, this guy is knocked on the ground. We can also make sure we snipe him in the eye with our Yelan to prevent him from getting any Hydra resistance, because if he gets Hydra resistance, this whole team is screwed. Yeah, you want to avoid that. So anyway, we are doing here around 12 to 18k on basically all of our ticks, which is, you know, just some nice damage coming from 3 different characters. Now, like I said, we can disable him here, and there we are. I'd say we're gonna finish this in the next 20 seconds, so we're gonna end up finishing this chamber in 2 minutes, which is actually the fastest of all the chambers. So yeah, as long as you have a bow character, the Eon Blade, the Drake, the flying guy is really easy. So yeah, there we go. We've already finished the Abyss, so as you guys can tell, first half very easy. Doesn't really matter what you bring in it, as long as you just don't mess it up or your artifacts are good enough, then you will be fine. And for the second half, an Ayato team does great. Basically, any team with like a bow character in it that isn't a DPS loss will do great in this chamber. And who's good in single target? Like this team. This team is very good in single target because all of your damage sources are just hitting one enemy. But yeah, that's it for this part of the video, and now let's move on to the character builds before we go on to the outro. Okay, now onto our character builds. Starting off with Ayato, we have 52 credit on him, which goes up to 38 with Manage to Say, and 233 crit damage alongside 105 ER. You know, it's just nice to get his burst a bit, but since we have so many Hydro Particles in the team, it is, you know, not that needed, but oh well. Now we do, unfortunately this isn't a full F2P build because we do have him on Black Sword. But like I said, we have him on 4 Manage to Say, the pieces you would expect: attack, hydro damage, and crit, C0, and 2 10-10 talents, because who uses his normal attack. When it comes to our Furina, she's on 61 crit rate and 200 crit damage with 173 ER. Honestly, probably could go lower because we have Fav, and there's just so many Hydro Particles on the team, but oh well. HP, and crit damage, you know, I just don't like changing my character builds over, so I like keeping them as they are. And C0, 2 9-10 talents. When it comes to our Yelan, She is on 60 crit rate, 172 crit damage, and 200 ER. Once again, a bit of a cap, but oh well, I'm too lazy to change my character builds. HP, Hydro, crit damage on Emblem, C0, and 1610 talents. Now when it comes to our Jean, she has 220 ER alongside 52 healing bonus, as well as 4-piece Vermilion. She's on Sack Sword, C1, and 117 talents. Now onto our second half, when it comes to our Neuvillette, he is on 44 crit rate, which goes up to 80, and then 217 crit damage and 125 ER, which is nice because our prototype Amber is not R5 yet. And then 4-piece, as you would expect, Mars to say, on HP, Hydro damage, and crit damage. HP percentage is also an option for the goblet, but I just go for Hydro damage because it's easier for me, especially in a team without Furina. 1088 talents and C0. When it comes to our Nahida, she is on 937 EM, 40 crit, 70 crit damage, and then she is on Sack Frags, R1, and then we have her on Deepwood, full EM, just because she is the only Dendro most of the time on our teams, C0 and 2108 talents. When it comes to our Cookie, she's on 862 EM, level 90, as you'd want her, level 70 weapon, and then 4-piece Gilded Dreams on 3 EM. C5s, C1 and C2 are really the big ones you need on Cookie. Not even need, you can run the C0 Cookie very easily. And then 197 talents just because extra healing is nice, and then, I don't know, I just guess I add extra bucks for the burst. And when it comes to our Zhongli, 54k HP, just a shield bot build with Black Tassel at level 80 and full HP artifacts on Millilith. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. When it comes to next videos, we have, just more Spiral Abyss videos coming out. I have a Thundering Fury HYPERBLOOM AYATO version coming out. I have a Tartaglia version coming out. Maybe I'll do a Tainari version, I'm not sure. We also have some more Honkai videos coming out. And then we will also have the Zhao video coming out, where we will be pulling for Zhao with hopefully a little surprise if I can manage that. So yeah, be sure to subscribe, stick around because you don't want to miss that. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. See ya.